Hello YouTube viewers. Well, today I have my fixed gear bike in here, and what I'm going to do is take this stem and flip it over. If you look at it, it's kind of pointing up, so I'm going to flip it over so it's pointing down a little bit. I took off the original bars, I put on these bull horns, and it's just up a little too high, so I want to drop it low. So this is a low angled stem, so if I flip it over, it should drop the bars about an inch or 2 inches, and that's basically where I want it to be. Okay, so what I want to do is take these bolts off, and the first thing I'm going to do is take these off. Now, they do have torque specifications, and you should follow them. I don't really know what the torque specs are on this bike. I could spend, a half hour on the internet trying to figure it out, or I could take my torque wrench and set it what I think they should be, and I did this a little bit before, and I set it at 60, and then as I go to loosen it, it clicks right when it's turning. So I know that 60 inch-pounds is roughly what I'm looking for on these, so that's what I will go back in with because that's what they were set to. Alright, and then these are the same thing. It clicks right as I'm loosening, so I'm going to tighten these at 60 also. Okay, and then this one was much less. It's probably more like 40, so I'm going to go ahead and spin these off. Now I've just got my three-way tool here, and I'll spin it apart. Okay, so I'll let the handlebars lay on the front wheel. I'll just set these aside. And now I'm just down with this. Take the top cap off. There it is. And off it comes. I just flip it over. And you have to loosen this one up a bit. Alright, back it goes. Okay, so I snug the top cap first and then check, see if there's any play. There's not. And then what I like to do is go ahead and put the bars back on. Otherwise, I mean, you can center this with the front tire, but it's easier, I think, if you put the bars back on. Okay, so one thing I'm going to do is center these, and you see there's a stripe right there, and then there's a stripe right there. So I'm just going to get it so that there's a little bit of stripe showing, that line is showing on either side. Okay, so that's gets the bar centered. It's a little bit hard with the shadow here, but that looks pretty good right there. So I'm just gonna tighten these up a little bit just to hold that in place. So that's centered. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come around the side and set the bar pitch. So I've got the bar centered. Now I want to figure out, how do I want these to be? Do I want it down more or do I want it up? And so I'm just kind of perceiving this, how I'll be on the bike. Is that how I want them? I'm going to start with this right here. That feels pretty good. So I'll go ahead and tighten these up. And of course you can always change this. but you want to get it kind of in a starting position. Okay, that's pretty good. And then you want to just make sure it's centered in the front wheel. The wheel is pointing straight. This is just eyeballed. When you go for a ride, you can actually adjust it even better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tighten this one down. That takes all the slack out of the stack here, so the bearings, that tightens them up. You want to go too tight, but you don't want to leave it loose. And then I'm going to go ahead and take my torque wrench and tighten these up. So I got it set on 60 inch-pounds. I'll just go ahead and carefully tighten these up. You don't have to be in a hurry with this. There's no points for finishing quickly. Better to have it done right and take an hour longer than to do it wrong and have to redo it. Alright, there's my click, and I click them like 3 times. Alright, yep, I've got to tighten these up too. I don't think these are as crucial as the other ones, but it's important to torque them all the same. You won't have any problems with anything loosening. Alright, and then I just go around a second time. Okay, so one final thing, I tighten this one to 40 inch-pounds, and then the last thing you want to do is just check and see, is my steer tube steering easy? Do you feel any grating or grinding while it's going back and forth? No, it's. And the other thing is there any play? Do you feel any up and down movement? Should be smooth and easy, which this one is. Okay. This top cap, when you tighten it down, don't go real tight on it because that puts a lot of pressure on the bearings. Just tighten that one. Like I said, I did 40 inch-pounds, which isn't very much at all, and that holds everything together on the stack, the bearings, and then I tighten these to hold it in place. So that's the last of it. Go for a test ride. See how it works. If you got any questions or comments, leave them below. Thanks for watching.